like to introduce to you Professor Hung Nguyen, but I would like to call him Thầy Hung, so it's more familiar to you. So Thầy Hung is a Vice-Chancellor for the Faculty of Science, Engineering and Technology, and Professor in Biomedical Engineering of Swinburne University of Technology from February 2008. He was Assistant Deputy Vice-Chancellor Innovation from 2014-2017, and the Dean of Faculty of Engineering and Information Technology from 2010 to 2014 of University of Technology, Sydney. Thầy Hung was appointed a Member of Order of Australia in 2002 and was awarded a Teaching Award in individual category in year 2000, and in 2016, Chancellor Medal Exceptional Research at University of Technology, Sydney. With a strong research interest in biomedical engineering, artificial intelligence, advanced control and neuroscience, he has developed several medical devices for diabetes, disability, fatigue, and cardiovascular diseases. Thầy Hung has published more than 300 research articles and has been granted 13 full patents, received more than $6 million of external competitive research funding, and has been involved in the generation of $9.5 million of commercialization income. He's also a fellow of Institute of Engineers Australia, the Australia Computer Society, and the British Computer Society. That's the longest biography that I have ever introduced. So joining with Early Talk 2009, Color of Success, Thầy Hung will not only just bring to our event a bunches of profitable learning from his field, but also share the adventure of experience turning into a main role in Australian industry. So his topic today will be academic versus business world. So put your hands together and welcome Thầy Hung on stage.
You're very kind. Good afternoon, everyone. It seems to me that I have been in Australia forever, for a long time. And so probably I'll start. No, I actually have my own. All right, the organizer asked me to do academic versus business, but actually my background is slightly different. It's not versus business, but and business. And also, it's my journey for quite some time in Australia. And my journey, it's into academia, and also business innovation is very serendipitous by chance. I have no idea what I was into. So a lot of them are very unplanned. I started off with, I came to Australia in quite some time ago, can't even remember, 1971. So this is where we were. In that group, it's Colombo Plan 1971. I had no idea what I was doing, what sort of career I would have. I started off in Vietnam. I did architecture for half a year. And then electronic engineering for another half a year, before I get a scholarship to Australia, Colombo Plan, and that is half of my group there. And I was on the second row on the left. So when we were here, probably less than 500 Vietnamese in Australia. Our group actually set up one of the first Vietnamese restaurant in Sydney. And after that, I went up to Newcastle University to study, and I studied electrical engineering. When I finished, things changed a lot in Vietnam. I couldn't get back. So they offered me scholarship to do PhD. So I stayed back and do PhD in Newcastle University. And after that, I started working in the industry. So I went into industry. I work in a number of different areas. I went into power. So I designed a lot of big machines. For example, like this one. We actually built a machine. The one in the middle there, I only had 2 hours to design the system. After 15 weeks, it turned up and I have to test it. What it does is that they actually move coal from the mainland to the ship. What happening is, so if you actually just pour coal on the ship, it will have a big pie. So either you have to move the ship, shifting it up and down is too hard. So we have to decide to move the whole building. So we shift the building. That machine is doing just that. Shift the whole floor up and down in order to do that. So I actually work on a lot of robotics and a lot of automation. But when I came back and said to my wife that these are huge machines, she said, so? It doesn't have anything to do with people. So I know that I had to change. And that's why I went into biomedical engineering. But that is the side, because my father wanted me to do medicine. I said, let me try to get into engineering. If I could not get into engineering, I do medicine. It's so hard to get into engineering in Vietnam at that time. And so in the end, that I moved from electrical engineering to control engineering to power engineering, then to biomedical engineering. Along the way, I picked up neuroscience and artificial intelligence. So I have been working on artificial intelligence for more than 20 years now. Academia. Well, I worked in the industry for about 5 to 7 years. I was chief engineer of power electronics, and then UTS called me. And so I went to UTS and worked there as a lecturer. After about 3 years, industry had hunted me again. I said, all right, I go. So I went out to work in the industry. For 2 years, UTS wanted me back. So I came back. So you see that I have no plan, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I will take opportunities. Anything I like, I have a lot of passion in my work. And I take opportunities. This one here, when I get back to UTS, this one is a group of students from Vietnam. It's one of the first group. It's actually had 8 students, similar to Colombo Plan, years 2000, and they are outstanding students. We actually recruit about 50 students, 8 students. 85% got first-class honors and 2 university medals. They're absolutely amazing group, so that I can see that in Vietnam, the level of education and also the dedication is actually outstanding. This one here is only recent in the last few years. There are 3 of my latest PhD student. They all finished PhD now. And we start to see that more women doing in engineering. And the transforming STEM is really a key area. This is one of the center. I was director, Center for Health Technologies, and you can see that we actually have a lot of international students. And so along the way, I spent more than 36 years at UTS and go from number different. I taught a lot of different things, from electrical machines to power electronics to artificial intelligence to biomedical engineering. So it's a lot of fun. So only recently, Swinburne tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Would you like to apply for a job?" I said, "What's the deadline?" I said, "Today." Somehow it happened to be that it's the right time for me. So I applied for it. And so what we have here is, I'm looking after the Faculty of Science, Engineering, and Technology. And they only have 3 faculties in Swinburne. And so this is one of them. And so it's about STEM, transforming STEM. Swinburne is amazing in a way that, because in the recent ranking, research excellence, our faculty, 29 disciplines and 90% are above world class. So that is a group of Swinburne in the Faculty of Science, Engineering, Technology. So far you can see that I have fun. So it looked like that I have been working in academia for quite some time. However, I have another side, and this is about business innovation. Like I said before, that I start working in medical devices, more than 20 years now. And so when I take the sabbatical leave, normally I would have to go into electrical engineering faculty, but I didn't. I sat in College of Medicine. And so to learn about diabetes, to learn about cardiovascular disease and so on. And so this one here, I start looking at disabilities. So one of my colleagues at UTS, he's absolutely outstanding. But along the way, he picked up motor neuron disease. And that is incredible disease. It's actually disable you very, very quickly. And so then I look into that, and that's one of the reasons why I work on disabilities, especially looking at spinal cord injury. And so we're looking at the high level of spinal cord injury. People cannot use their hands properly to control things. And so I start looking at the way how to design a device to help people not to use their hands and to control wheelchairs and so on. And so that's why we come up with a wheelchair. This wheelchair is, he's one of my PhD students, finished quite some time ago. And this is another one. And this is another one, but he's my son. So I was not his supervisor. You know, we have another supervisor to look after him. What happening is that we actually developed the device to control the wheelchair by head movement or by thought alone. So you actually can think, and the wheelchair will go exactly where you want to be. And the wheelchair is autonomous, and so you find that we have laser system, that sort of thing. I can let the wheelchair here, and it will move, and it will avoid you, and that sort of thing. And you can, if you like, you can control by thought alone. So we have two wheelchairs there, and you see that camera. Well, we had that camera even 5 years before Google came out with the autonomous system. But I was focused on medical devices, and so you actually can see it there. The breakthrough we have, and we call this one aviator. That is an innovative method to can use two thought control signals for controlling a device. The first signal to control the operation device, we actually can think. You can think, use association. If you want to go left, compose a letter in your mind. If you want to go right, do some mathematics. You want to go forward, visualize something rolling in front of your eyes. If you want to stop, you just close your eyes. And you can see that you can think in any language you like. So this one here, I had a catalyst one.
Special software to translate my thoughts into directional commands for the wheelchair. There are 4 basic actions. To roll the chair forward, I imagine a Rubik's Cube rolling forward in my mind. To move left, I compose a simple letter. To move right, I think of doing some arithmetic. To stop, I just close my eyes. And now, to put it to the test, can I really move across this room with just the power of a thought? Nothing happens at first. But then suddenly, I begin to move. Using a simplified version of the thought control technology, my brain signals are directing the wheelchair around the room. Well, it takes a little getting used to, but I'm amazed at how quickly this machine has learned to read my thoughts in order to control it. And while I might see it as a little bit clunky, I can see that for a severely disabled person, this system is going to be absolutely liberating.
We actually go a bit further. With that sort of system, if you use a Bluetooth, you actually can control within 10 meters or 100 meters. But what happens if you actually want to control further, like from Vietnam? You actually can think, you actually can control it directly via the internet. And this one here will show you that we actually can do that. And if you wear the Oculus Rift, the VR system, you can see 360 around the wheelchair. And you can control the wheelchair by yourself. And with this one here, so you can see that, you know, it's actually, you can control that and all the image moving in real time, okay? And so you actually can see it. If you look back, you actually can see the back of the wheelchair. My next one is bigger. Actually, this one here is the one that investors actually want to put up money into. The next one I'm working on was the diabetes, and especially low blood sugar, hypoglycemia. You find that people with diabetes, one of the most fear is low blood sugar. That they actually, they can go to sleep and never wake up. I've seen people, moms, actually getting up every 2 hours, checking their kids' blood glucose because of that fear. That's what they call dead in bed syndrome. So I noticed that, and so that's why I developed a new device that is actually can detect low blood sugar non-invasively without taking blood and continuously. So you can actually go to sleep and see how it goes from there. And if the blood sugar is low, it will wake your moms up. So this one here, I actually set up a company in more than 10 years ago. I was founder and CEO of what I call AIMedics at that time. And it's actually dealing with these sort of things. And so I had angels to put up, it's about $500,000. Venture capitalists put up about $5 million. And the government chipped in another $5 million and so on. So we actually set up and developed this one we called Hypermon. This was the team to start, and also we get up to about 20 people. But like a lot of different things, we couldn't raise further money, so it collapsed. But I'm setting up a new one. So the new one will be is called Non-invasive Technology Proprietary Limited, and I started this year. That's the next generation of the low blood sugar getting smaller, and you actually can use with your iPhone or Android system. And the breakthrough there is first non-invasive continuous medical device, and so on. How am I going with my time? Too long, isn't it? Back then, I was speeding it up. So this one here, roughly,
Our device correlates directly with plasma blood glucose level and has a lag time of less than 5 minutes. This project focuses on bringing the device to work in operational environment. We anticipate DGA approval would be finalized to market the device in Australia. This will help significantly towards the full commercialization in major markets such as US, Europe, and Asia.
With this one, I have a US patent, a European patent, Australian patent, and so on. We actually look into further, and we continue to develop. This one here look into ECG transfer and actually estimate your blood glucose. I have another patent using brain waves, convert directly into blood glucose level. So this is the team working. They are from Prince Margaret Hospital in Perth. They're actually doing clinical study with me for quite some time now. So we're getting there. But along the way, I have to say that the people behind me are my family. I came here when I was young, and Australia is really an unusual place. It's an absolutely beautiful place. And I actually really appreciative of what Australia have been, has offered me. So along the way, this is my family, and this is the first one. The one there in yellow is Zohara Lin, and she's, at that time she finished at UTS. She had a degree at UTS and one in Sydney University. The middle one is my wife there, and her mum on the other side. And I have 4 kids. The first one is Jordan, and have set of triplets. Zohara is one of the triplets. And so this is what they have. Jordan on the side, and you have Zohara came out first, and then Alexander on the right, and Tristan. Jordan, his name is Sean. Zohara Lin, Alexander Tan, and Tristan Quang. So that's a very brief glimpse of my life. I have no plan. I actually just work, take the opportunity whenever it presented to me. What I have is my passion. I love what I do, always. And I'm very appreciative of what I have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you so much.